Hey there, my name is Mike Mundy. I'm a real estate agent with the Greater Howard County office of Keller Williams Realty Center. I've been a licensed agent going on 20 years now, and I rank in the top 5% of realtors across the country. And this is my monthly update on how the local real estate market is performing. I'm going to be updating you guys for the month of September 2023 for the counties of Howard, Prince George's, Anne Arundel, and Montgomery, which happen to be the four counties that intersect where I live in Laurel, Maryland. So let's get to the number one question I'm asked on a weekly basis. How is the market? Where are we? Are we up? Are we down? It's a great question to ask. So I always look to the numbers, which really tell the story. Because if there's one thing that I know, it's that the numbers don't lie. And they're there to guide us. So, guys, I've prepared a number of charts to be able to tell exactly what's going on in the market. I'm going to share the first one with you right now. So, that very first one here is for the county of Howard. This is a 2 year chart, Howard County, and what we're seeing here is highlighting the month of September of last year as compared to September of this year. So I'm going to focus on the two red bars for each month, which are really telling the story here. The taller, lighter red bar is the total number of homes for sale on the market for the month. The shorter and darker red bar next to it is the number of new homes, new listings that came out for the month. So if you look at the top, it says the average sale price a year ago was 580,000. This year the average sale price is 593,000, so it's up by 2%. The number of days on the market has gone down from 19 days last year to 13 days this year. The other number that I'm focusing on very heavily is the shorter red bar. You can see that that one dropped even greater. So the number of new homes coming on the market is down by just over 40% since September of last year. And I'll talk about what that means shortly, but for now, let's take a look at the other counties. So moving on to Anne Arundel County. You can see that a year ago, the average sale price was 514,000. This year it's 571,000, so it's up by 11%. The number of days on market has gone down slightly from 24 days last year to 22 days this year. The taller red bar is showing us that the total number of homes for sale is down by about 18%, and that shorter red bar showing the number of new homes coming on the market is down by almost 35%. Moving on to Prince George's County, you can see that last year the average sale price was 403,000, and this year it's 417,000, so it's up by 3%. Looking at the number of days on market, it's gone down a little from 29 days last year to 25 days this year, which happens to be the highest of the four counties. Just something to note. The total number of homes for sale, as shown by the taller red bar, is down by almost 25%, and the number of new homes coming on the market, as shown by the shorter red bar, is down by just over 34%. Now for Montgomery County. You can see here that a year ago, the average sale price was 532,000. This year it's 560,000, so it's up by about 6%. The number of days on market has gone down somewhat noticeably from 24 days to 18 days. And the taller red bar is showing us that the total number of homes for sale is down by almost 24%. The shorter red bar is showing us that the number of new homes coming on the market is down by almost 30%. So now, guys, I'm going to move over to a chart that has a whole lot of numbers on it, which can seem kind of daunting at times. So what I'm going to do is just to give you an overview so that it's plain to see what these numbers are telling us. So if you look on the left-hand side, it has the same two categories that we were tracking in the charts. The total number of homes for sale and the total number of new listings that came on the market for each in the month for each of the counties. And if you just scan across from left to right on your screen, you can see that it's all in the negative. So we've had an entire year, really more than an entire year, where there were less total homes for sale. And for each corresponding month, there were less new homes coming on the market. Now, I'm going to stop sharing my screen for just a second and really talk to you guys about what all of this means. So, we are still in what is called a seller's market. And in a seller's market, there are more buyers looking for homes to purchase than there are homes for sale. What determines a seller's market is the volume of houses that are on the market. So, if there are a lot of houses on the market, then buyers can go out and they can compare one house against the other. They can pit one seller against the other and say, hey, If you don't reduce your price, I'm not going to buy your house. And in that case, right, prices begin to fall. We are in a seller's market, and that's why I'm tracking the total number of homes for sale. When you have 30 to 40% fewer homes on the market than there were just a year ago, it's very difficult for buyers to find a house to begin with. And then once they find the house they want, they need to compete against other buyers to get the sellers to accept their offers. So sellers are in control in this market as long as their house is priced properly, set up properly, and marketed properly. Because although the market is very strong, it can also be very unforgiving if you as a seller should happen to miss the mark in one of the categories that I just described, which is why folks hire me to sell their homes, especially in a market like this. So guys, I'm going to go back to the chart with all the numbers on it and tie this together in a nice little bow for you. So that what we have here is the average sale prices for each month and how those prices have changed from the same month during the previous year. If you can just scan from left to right, you'll see that there are very few red numbers, which that's when prices were lower than they were the previous year. So in general, the overall picture is that prices have continued to go up and up. So if you look at the extreme right-hand side, you'll see a column where it shows the 2-year change from September 2021 to September of 2023. And in Howard County, that 2-year change was 14%. It was higher for Anne Arundel County, where the average sale price has increased over the past 2 years by 18%. And then you have Prince George's County at 4%, a little more modest, and Montgomery County at 10%. Guys, something important here to note is the difference between how much prices have increased, how much they did increase between 2021 and 2022 as compared to the 2-year difference. So for example, in Howard County, we take a look at the column on the far right next to the 2-year change. We can see that prices increased between 21 and 22 by 12%. So while prices are up by 14% over the course of 2 years, the bulk of that happened last year. And this year it only went up by 2%, which I think is important to note. Guys, the last thing that I'm looking at here are the average interest rates in the country. And you can see here that at the very bottom, at the right, that for the month of September, the average interest rate was about 7.2%, which is up considerably from the 5 to 5.5% that we had about a year ago, and the 3 to 3.5% that we had 2 years ago. So what does all of this mean to you as a buyer or as a seller? As a seller, it means that it's an excellent time to sell. We have something called a secondary market in the fall, like the second spring market. It's a strong market. So if you're thinking about selling your home, it's a great time to do it. I mean, it's normally a great time to do it anyways, but it's especially a great time to do it now because there are so few houses for sale on the market. Now, if you're a buyer, it's very important that you know what you're doing in terms of looking at houses because there's so few of them on the market. There's a tendency to walk into a house and say something along the lines of, wow, I like this house. I want to buy this house. How do I figure out the price that I should bid for it? And again, I'm all about the numbers. So if I work with you as a buyer client and we walk through the house, I can tell you if the house was priced correctly to begin with. And if it is priced correctly, how we can build your offer strategically so that the seller will accept it. Now, on the flip side of that, the houses you're looking at might not be the best value out there. I'm going to be able to tell you that as well, because it might be a house where it's better to walk away from it rather than jumping into the bidding process. So guys, kind of wrapping this up, if you're a buyer or if you're a seller, I would appreciate it if you would call or text me. I would love to talk to you. My number is 301-675-6355. Again, that's 301-675-6355. I would be happy to help you. Or if you know someone who's looking to buy or sell a house, I would appreciate it if you would pass this video along to them. So guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next month. Take care.